Well, I grew up in Kingfisher, went to school there. And, we were raised out in the country on my grandmother's farm. My grandma and grandpa, they farmed 160 acres out there. And so that's where we were raised. We were raised around, mostly around, back then everybody talked Cheyenne, all the kids. And we understood Cheyenne, you know. And my grandpa, he was a medicine man. So he lived outside in a teepee, and my other grandpa, the one that had the farm, and my grandmother, my mother's mother, they had the house. It was pretty rough growing up because we didn't have no electricity or no. We pumped water out of the well and bathed out of a big old tub, you know, and took turns, you know. And my grandmother canned her own food, and we had to work hard during the spring, you know, keeping it clean, and we'd all get together and harvest it, you know. She would can it, and they had their own horses and cows, and so we were, and they had a few turkeys, and but those were special, you know. So we were taught about how to take care of ourselves, and that we was going to have to go to school, in a public school, and it was going to be different. So we found out it was different, you know. And we used to, every Saturday we'd all get on a wagoning team and go to town and stay there and watch the movie and get our candy, you know, and go back home. But when we went to the public school, they told us not to talk our language. The only time we would talk it was on the playground, you know. And then we would laugh at them, you know. Of course, they didn't know what we were talking about, but as we grew up, we didn't know where our school supplies were coming from. We didn't know nothing about that until we got in the third grade. You know, the high school principal was asked by one of the parents, you know, about the school supplies. He said, well, it comes from a man they called Johnston O'Malley from New York City. Said he was a foreigner, you know, and everybody laughed because we all know they're foreigners, you know. So anyway, that's how we knew we were getting our school supplies. And yeah, we were called names all the time, you know. Like gut eaters, you know, dog eaters, but we didn't pay no attention to them. We just went on back home. And we were taught to, unless they bothered us, you know, then we could defend ourselves. But yeah, I come from 9 members in my family, you know, and I'm the third to the oldest. So yeah, I lost 2 sisters and 2 brothers. My father walked to town every day. Him and his cousin, they worked in town for different people doing yard work, you know, and different things. And they told us about what we was going to have to go through and to just be good when we go to school. So we did all that much as we could, you know. And my mother used to say, well, there's a big word you're going to have to learn, and that's prejudice. It's all over It's something that will never end. But do the best you can and respect your teachers, respect your elders, and respect other people, you know. And so that's how we grew up. We all grew up together, and they used to call it West Bottom. That was a flood district, you know. And we were all in poverty, you know. And we used to go out and pick up bottles and cans and junk, you know, and go sell them, you know, just to get candy or pop, you know. But we shared with one another, and that was pretty good, you know. And one of the girls was talking to me earlier, you know, said, "Well, how did them Cheyenne girls look?" And I said, "They were pretty, but we couldn't bother them because we were told, you know, they were our relatives, you know." So we just had to kind of grin and bear it, you know. But then later on, uh, we were taught about our traditional ways, you know, and where we came from, and about how to respect those people, you know, because one day or sometime that we were going to be involved, you know, and that it took these certain men to really search you out, you know, and look at you, see what kind of life you live, you know, and if you were a good man, well, your family come from a good family, maybe they might put you somewhere, you know, like in a clan or make a chief out of you or a hitman. And yeah, that's the way we grew up. And we grew up around ceremonies, you know, and these our traditional ways, these warriors societies, you know. And so we learned quite a bit. Yeah, we every once in a while there would be some medicine people that come from out of town. They would come to our grandparents, you know, and they would all meet, and then we'd have to go somewhere for quiet, you know. And they would all meet and have a good meeting, maybe over the weekend, and they'd all leave, you know. So, yeah, everything had to be real quiet around my grandma's, and uh, we were taught that in the morning we all get up and sit in a circle, and grandma would pour coffee for all of us, and then break bread, you know. And then Grandpa would come in. He'd pray for about an hour, you know, and then he would eat and go back out. So we were taught about that much respect for our medicine man, you know, whether he was our grandpa or not, you know, to respect his ways too. So, yeah, my sister used to take care of him. My older sister, she used to clean out his teepee and wash his clothes. So that was a good learning period, you know. We worked awful hard too. We'd have to go out there and help Grandpa shock feed, you know, the big old guys. And we worked hard. We know what hard work is. You know, everything starts from the home. And I had made a lot of suggestions to me and my brothers, you know, about the Head Start program, preschool, at Concho or wherever they at, Canton, or to start there when it started. Because back then we used to have a lot of fluent speakers. I mean, they didn't want pay. They said, all you got to do is feed me, you know, and I'll go over and teach our children. our grandchildren, you know, and then we thought that was the best thing for them to learn the language. Now, back to where I was growing up, we were told that come one day, they said, the viejo, the white man, as you get older, as you grow up, things were going to change. That they weren't going to be allowed to have language in school. So, and that you're going to have to show your ID card to show that you're Indian, how much blood you are, and then about speaking your language. They said, because I think it's still coming around. Because what the old people used to say about these treaties, you know. Come one day, the white man's going to say, well, if you're not Indian, you're gone. You're no more Indian. Oh, you don't have no card. You can't speak your language. You can't sing your songs. So all that, I truly believe that, you know, later on down the line, you know. And that's why I always tell my grandsons, now they picking up words. They'll tell me, good morning, Grandpa. And then they tell me to go to sleep. So that's good, you know. They know how to say water, you know, and bread. So that's real good. He's a preschooler. And the other one, he's in 4th grade. So the ones in 4th grade already been in Sundance, you know. So we're trying to teach them our values, you know, of our religion and our ways, you know, and language, you know. And they go to the drum and they sing, except the small one, he wants to run around, you know, that's all right. Well, it makes me feel good in my heart, you know, because I dance. I used to traditional dance one time when we were smaller, and then later on, I was 13 years old, I was initiated into the Cheyenne Gore Clan at Watonga, Oklahoma, out to Touching Ground Community Hall. And there was 4 of us that was initiated. And you didn't see no little kids dancing then, because I was 13 years old. And we were taught then that after we got initiated that to remember all those men that took us around, they were headsmen. And because of these Klan songs, you know. So, and we felt pretty good. And that's when they said, they asked us questions about who made your moccasins, who made your beads, who made your sash, who made your fan, who made your gort, you know. Because none of your parents couldn't make them. And it was your aunts and uncles that made all that stuff. So they said to remember all that, so I did, you know. And everything that we used to hear the old people say, you know, you do good things, you know, you receive a good blessing, you know. So I guess I've been blessed with grandchildren, you know. And I get after them just like any other kids, you know. I was initiated in 1984 at Concho. Now I was initiated by headsmen and we had witnesses there, 3 chiefs. So that's upon my experience being in the traditional and ceremonial. So I Sundanced in 1976 down at Watonga at Walking Woman allotment. And so I didn't, they told me to come to meetings. So I went to the meetings, and they told me that just keep coming, you keep learning. We're going to talk to you, tell you things. And remember all the stuff, that we're telling you. So one day you're going to be a good leader, even though you already went in the military, And we got that respect for warriors, So I didn't think nothing of it all that time. And they really watch your family, how you raise your family, and how you support them, So I worked all the time, and so they initiated me at Concho, and then after that, I became a hitman. My duties were to take care of my people and protect them, and also to be a referee among the Cheyennes. Like if there was a family squabble or something, they couldn't fix it. Well, I had to go over there and straighten it up, best way I know how. And we're over the chiefs, these hitmen. So yeah, we hardly ever give them advice, There's 44 chiefs, and there's 16 hitmen among these clans, So yeah, we're more fortunate than a lot of tribes here in Oklahoma, because we still have our traditional ways and our ceremonial ways, and we uphold them every summer, for 2 weeks. And it's a great time to be among our people, And we go back into a teaching period, teaching these young men, tell them about our clan, and what they used to do. So, and all the songs that they gourd dance to when they have powwows and benefit dances, and that's where they come from, our clan, the bowstring. So it's a great honor to serve my people, And so I really speak up for them, no matter where, About how these gourd dance became from a ceremonial to a social dance. Because back then they were all medicine songs, And so our people was wanting to do something more sociable than doing a hang game. Of course, they didn't have no powwows back then, And they had other dances, but they would do it during the time of the ceremony, when they would let them do that. So they got together with the chiefs and the headmen after the Korean conflict. That's when mostly women approached our leaders, and say, hey, we really want to dance that gourd dance. So can you give it to us? And they said, well, let us think about it. So they thought about it for a while, and then they called the women back in, and they said, well, we sung these songs, so we took these medicine songs out, and we made these Gordon dance songs for you all. So now you got something to dance to. And there's rules. These rules say nobody can run in front of you or walk in front of you while you're dancing. And when these men dance, this whole arena belongs to these warriors, no matter if they're old or modern. This arena belongs to them. So later on, you're going to have a lot of tribes to take it up. We already know. So that's the way. So that's how I became initiated into that. So we could dance, and all the women could dance then. So now it's used all over the United States, and that's a very, very enjoyable dance,
Elders Day Out is a regular event sponsored by the Cheyenne and Arapaho tribes. It's a way for our elders to continue to enjoy their lives and to encourage one another by sharing stories and offering companionship.
To me, it's about culture and tradition. The way I see it, we are circle people. Everything we do in a circle. We camp in a circle. We gather, we sing, we dance in circles. And so I tell the people we're circle people. So I said, and then how we became confused is now we live in boxes. We're square people. And that's confusing to our Indian people, Indian way of life. And this type of thing here, I'm just so happy and proud that our people, our young people, are honoring our elders, and that we can get together and for one day at least be happy and share our stories with one another, share camaraderie with one another, because this is what life is supposed to be all about.
I think it's traditionally you take care of your elders. And I think this is the way the tribe shows their appreciation and their respect by honoring the elders, by giving them a day out. Through your experiences in life as an elder, you're supposed to give back to the younger children and to the younger adults and teach them the lessons that you've learned. And so as elders, it's our responsibility to help raise the children in the tribe, no matter whose children they are, whether they're our nieces or nephews or distant relatives. We take care of them. That's our responsibilities as elders. And the tribe, in return, gives us a day in honor of living this long and coming through the experiences we have, and then hopefully pass the knowledge back to our children.
I'm trying to think how I'm going to do this right here.
Our elders, in the past, I remember that we would all get together, our families would get together in the communities. We'd do things together. And especially the chiefs of the tribe, their duty was to make sure that people were involved. And if someone had a bereavement, the chiefs were the first ones there to encourage the people, and also to bring some type of continuity to the tribe and keep them together. And that's the way it should be. We should never forget one another. We should all be together because the Creator made us, and the Creator gave us our ways, our traditional ways, which meant that we should all respect one another and love and take care of one another.
Our elders are an important part of our community, providing them with information about available services, as well as assistance in gaining access to those services, is one of the main objectives of the Cheyenne and Arapaho Elder Program. Call 405-422-7571 for more information.